Alright, it's the one on loan of the Sad Loaner TJ. Welcome everybody to another NCAA 10 off-season video. Now today we're going to break down everything that has happened in the season 6 off-season video. As you see, 2014 ends with a big win. Wins with the win. Connecticut wins the 2014 BCS National Championship. Now, if you guys are new, subscribe, notification if you guys are new, and I hope you guys got your popcorn and your munchies, because we finna get to it, and we finna get to everything: the players leaving, the new recruits coming in, the player progression, the recruiting in general, showing the out of recruiting class, and the new players, and the new schedule, and the new recruits that we're going to be trying to get to come to Uconn next season. Now, all of this would be done by me doing my audio, so that way I'll be fully breaking this down on everything that has happened in this off-season video. So, like, comment, so if you guys are new to the channel, and subscribe if you guys are new, all that good stuff, and grab your popcorn, grab your munchies. It's going to be a good video, and let's get to it. Season 6 off-season video of the Uconn Huskies. But first, before we get into anything, I have to show you guys, of course, the stats before we end it. Let's get to it now that we're done. Then we'll get into everything else. But first, I have to show you how the stats. I didn't show you how this in the awards. As you see, FJ led the nation in passing yards of the nation, and TDs wasn't even close. Picks didn't lead, which is good. I'll take that. Rushing yards, Tyler Wesley ended up second in rushing yards, but led the entire nation in rushing touchdowns. Receiving, well, yards, Davis, Porter with 70 catches, had the least amount of catches, but hey, touchdowns. But both of them were 1 and 2 for touchdowns. Blocking, as you see, not really on here, not that much. Defense, tackles, that goes to Tim Thomas. Tackles for a loss, that goes to McMahon. Sacks, McMahon. Picks, that goes to Parker. Forced fumbles, that goes to Smith. From recoveries, go to team stats. Number 1 offense overall goes to us. Number 2 offense, number 1 defense goes to Alabama. The worst defense in the nation goes to Vanderbilt. Let's see. Best pass was total offense us. Best pass offense us. Best run offense, not fully up there. Points per game, number 1. Passing TD, well, TDs were obviously up there at number 1, but nearly had 10,000 yards. Nearly had 10,000 yards. Let's go to defense. Number 1 passing defense. Least number 1 was Bama. Least rushing yards. That's not us. Ohio State's actually over us. Oh, because at 300 yards. My fault. Where are we? Yeah, because of the points per game. Central Michigan allowed the least amount of points. Most points, Syracuse. Most of that was us. Sacks, us, 51. Fumbles, picks, with 30. We shouldn't do bad. Conversions, I think we already know. 3rd down conversions, we have the best percentage. 4th down attempts, we didn't have the most, but we did have the most successful 4th down attempts, and we're up there. Triple conversions, we didn't really go for 2 that much. We didn't really need to go for 2 that much this season. Red zone, best red zone offense, 0 field goal, discipline. Turnover differential, we're not up there. We are not up there at all. But hey, each their own. The difference is 5. Alright, now, with that being... Wait. Records. Remember, records have been changed this season. FJ career touchdowns. FJ career yards. Remember, that was Evans. He broke 2 of Alexander Evans' record in the span of 2 seasons. Receiving, Parker. Well, Parker still stands with a lot of these records. Same with James. Rushing, Wesley got 1. He didn't get the others. Defense, George, Woods, George. Again. And basically, that's it. Alright. Now, let's get to it. Let's get to the sad part of this off-season video, in which I'll go into dialogue, and that is the whole wait. Another thing. I'm sorry. My fault. Bowl games. What happened during the bowl games? My fault. I'm forgetting shit. New Mexico. Alright. Fresno State, Wyoming, Arizona State, Army, Tulsa, Troy, BYU, Arizona. Cincinnati, Oregon. Cincinnati beat. Actually, they lost in Chick-fil-A Bowl. Miami beat LSU. A&M lost to Indiana. Michigan lost to Auburn. Ohio State dominated Arkansas. Clemson dominated Louisville. USC got dominated by Iowa. That was going to be a good game. Georgia still beat Georgia Tech. Cotton Bowl, Tennessee lost to Oklahoma State. Liberty Bowl, Florida still dominated UCF despite not having a better record. Texas dominated Wisconsin. Alamo Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma dominated Ole Miss. Penn State got dominated by Oregon. Let me see. Yeah, Oregon ran away with that game. And then, of course, us in the national championship. Now we can get to it. Now let's get to it. Alright, I see you guys when we talk about the players leaving. And let's really dive into this offseason video, shall we? Alright, now, with all that being said, I hope you guys got your popcorn and your munchies in advance. I know I came out with the... I know I didn't upload for 2 days. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say this here and now. I know I didn't upload on the 2nd and on the 3rd. Third, I'm on vacation. 2nd, I was getting ready to go on vacation. But the 4th, as you see, was the national championship. Today's the offseason video. So now, let's get into it. People transferring, people leaving, people staying and all of that. So you guys already know what the deal is. Connecticut is now coming off a national championship victory, in which now guys like Woods, Douglas, Walker, as expected, are going into the draft. It was expected for Douglas and Walker to go into the draft. What caught me off guard was Woods. I thought Woods would stay for that extra year. But Frove going in, I 100% respect and 100% see the vision. I mean, Frove Walker had his best season of his collegiate career. He does deserve it. Woods, who only played 2 seasons going to the draft. I'm curious to see where these guys land. Hopefully, these guys are actually in the draft class, as we've seen as history follows. Madden doesn't like importing people from Uconn, so I'm hoping more people from this team are in the draft class. Of course, you got Fred Petit. We knew he was going to end up leaving. Also, Marks, Long, Haas, Long. He deserves all the praise. It's a shame that he didn't get any nomination for Best Linebacker of the Year award, even despite him, in my opinion, being the best linebacker in the nation. I mean, we did have the best linebacker room. Of course, got to go with Jeremy Peoples. Arguably the best defensive tackle just in college football history, you can argue. I mean, the way how he hit quarterbacks, sometimes from time to time helped us out in coverage, but when we needed him to do that all-out blitz, he was there. But now, our main focus is going to be in this offseason, which I kind of already put together here, is us focusing on the safety room, the running back, and start building for that next era of Uconn. As we guys know, FJ Rosino and Tyler Wesley are entering their junior year. This offseason recruiting, we basically be based off of me trying to slowly get the pieces together. As you guys see, this is currently the board. Got 5-star safety Randolph. Got 4-star from Philly. Like I talked about him later on in the season. J.R. Foreman. He ended up coming to us. Dunn, another 4-star safety. Wade, a 4-star running back. Alexander, a 4-star guard. Palmer, a 4-star guard. Watkins, a 4-star outside linebacker. And Frank Hansen, my fault. Athlete 4-star. Bobby Small, who could potentially be that next person. So next quarterback. It's a 4-star, and Jed Foster, a 4-star center. Now, these are currently the people that we have on the list. Now, in this offseason, I didn't really know who to really pick up because I kind of already made my mind on who I got during the regular season because honestly, to tell you the truth, the recruiting class wasn't really interesting. It wasn't really mind-boggling. This was basically a filler class for when we pick up the real talent, the real stars. That will be later on before the preseason recruiting. As you guys see, just going through all the players and all of that. The goal also this season is to mainly rebuild our offensive line. Because with Haas leaving, with Long leaving, with Mays about to leave also, Sullivan, of course, left a couple seasons ago. Our offensive line may be it's going to be our main concern next season. That's our main concern. I feel like Frank Hansen, we could put him on multiple different positions, but gotta see what the position changes that we're stacked on a lot of stuff. But Bobby Small, I was recruiting him earlier, and he caught me off guard. He actually looks like a decent quarterback, a quarterback that got my interest. Actually, I'm curious to see what he could do. But the thing is with Bobby, what I'm gonna say is he's gonna have to earn his spot. There's no guarantees he's going to be the next person taking the throne away from FJ. As you guys know, FJ will most likely be going into the draft after his junior season. And especially if he wins his third straight Heisman and ties Hurst for the most Heisman Trophy awards, and not only in a row, but in history as a college athlete, he's definitely going to go into the draft after that. Now, seeing the new recruit class and seeing the potential people, I felt like it was too late to get some of these guys. So I kind of had to see what can I get. I was interested in some corners, even though I know we have a lot of them already. We have a lot of cornerbacks, but I was interested in this tight end, Jason Leonard. He caught my eye. He caught my attention because tight end is an underrated position, especially how we use the tight end position more this season than we did, and especially with the whole lack of offensive linemen we're gonna have. I most likely is gonna have to be rushing and throwing the ball a lot, trying to get the ball out of his hands. Keith Holmes is someone that I've been trying to talk to for a good minute. He's a 4-star tackle. Most likely gonna be next up for Mays or Haas. Most likely definitely gonna be next up in line. But the goal, like I said, is to build the offensive line and build them up there and put the pieces together to make sure we have ourselves a great offensive line, build that up, and then for when our next quarterback comes in, we're already good. As you see, I got Holmes and got the punter. I didn't really care for getting a punter to begin with. I mean, to be honest, as I was doing this, I was like, the punter's going to be on the bench most of the time. Y'all already know this. Y'all know the punter's going to be riding the bench. He's going to be chilling on the bench more than our backups, if I'm being honest with you. We're not really going to use him as much. But Jason Leonard, like I said, he has my interest. Now we had to work on him. We had to, we had to talk to him for a little while. It took some persuading, going back and forth. But the moment I found out he was interested, he was interested in coming to us instead of going to LSU. Of course, but they decided that Leonard could be a great addition. I mean, he looks decent, C plus catching. That's only going to get better throughout time. Coming as a freshman, potentially getting some snaps, maybe not. Potentially, you might not know. He might get into the game, and him building himself up, and he could be a really big asset for us. We still got the cornerback Davis, and we got Holland from Ohio. I didn't really care for, but my fault cut out. But I didn't really care for everyone else. I really wanted Leonard, in which you guys saw. I ended up picking him up, and he was a great addition, someone that we needed on the roster. But we also break down the rest of the people we got. We got Holmes. You guys saw Kelly Davis, the 3-star Holland, and then you guys saw I got Leonard, the 4-star tight end. We ended up being ninth in the preseason in the recruiting, so not bad. Currently the roster position changes. Like I said, Hanson, I didn't know where to put him, but then I saw it. It was like he's gonna be a corner, isn't he? Then I looked at man, and I'm like, oh, where is he gonna be at? Corner, shocker. Like the main people we recruit are all corners, but I had to put McMahon at that end position. It had to be done. It had to be done. And John Jones finally get his starting job. Center, like I said, we're gonna be a little bit iffy on the offensive line. I feel like our main focus should be the offensive line this season because our receiving room is good, our running back room is good, our quarterback room is magnificent, and our linebacker room is mostly going to be something I also look into during the season. Look into some linebackers, look into some quarterbacks, obviously, and running backs because we already got ourselves a great quarterback, a great secondary in the works because we have a lot of corners that just honestly waiting in line, waiting for that spot, waiting for their opportunity for them to flourish and for them to become those top guys. Because again, like I said, we have a long list of cornerbacks that wants that spotlight, that wants, as you see, look how many cornerbacks we have, bro. Look how many quarterbacks we have. But on the trading results, Glover is the highest overall, sitting at a 96 overall. Bray got his improvements being the second highest, only behind Glover. But also, FJ is now a solid 90 overall. I feel like he should be higher than this. I ain't gonna hold you after him having another great season. I feel like he should be higher. Wesley is a 91, and he will remain being the starting running back despite despite Hines being a 94 overall, Wesley's still going to be the starting running back. The four main wideouts all got improvements. They are way over 80 and 85 speed. So you see Porter, Davis, Townsend, and Washington will be the four main receivers. But if we ever have to bring in an extra receiver who's tired, Pyro will get some recognition. Like I said, we're not really going into any receivers. Offensive lineman did slightly improvement. John Jones, the defensive tackle that I talked about earlier wants to get got his improvements to see McMahon's 85 overall. It's only a junior, so I might have another season of him. Because defensive lineman stays longer than any other position in this game. But John Jones finally got his starting job. He's a 92 overall, so I'm curious to see what that brother could do. I'm curious. He may have that dog in him. He may have that dog in him. It caught me off guard and impressed me. It impressed me. Like I said, our linebacker room's gonna need some work. With Glover being the highest overall, our cornerback room. Look how many 90s we got though. We got 90s galore. Oh, sorry, my fault for yawning, but I was tired, but we got 90s galore. Like this cornerback room is absolutely stacked. Multiple corners that are over 90 overall. So honestly, I could put them anywhere on the field. And with Joe Bell being the single caller behind the secondary, him being a 93 overall, him staying, that caught me off guard. I thought he'll go with Walker in the draft, but he chose to stay. He chose to stay. He chose to be a Roman and stay with his peers. Now, unfortunately, this is the rough part. I had to cut some people. I had to cut, well, majority of the corners, unfortunately, because again, we have too many cornerbacks. There are too many cornerbacks, so some people had to go. They had to go. But enough about that. Enough about all of that. I'm pretty sure you guys are waiting for one thing and one thing only: the actual preseason recruiting. So let's. My fault. So now we get into it. With, of course, like I said, FJ and Wesley leaving, their three main quarterbacks. We have Austin, Dante West, and Arrays Scott. Those Franklin Austin from Connecticut, 5-star. Aries Scott, 5-star from New York, and Dante West, 5-star from Baltimore. Now, those are going to be the main three quarterbacks of this recruiting class. And also, like I said, we're going to be focusing on linebackers. Mainly going to get some middle linebackers and probably get a little bit of corners. But like I said, still trying to build up that offensive line and potentially get that next back. But you might not know. I might like what I see with Wade. If Wade's a decent running back, he may be that person that's next in line if I don't run into any spectacular running backs during this recruiting process. But like I said, the main goal is to build the offensive line back up. Because I know after some more key pieces leave, like Mays, we're gonna have to rebuild. And we're gonna have to build the offensive line from scratch. And we have a lot of older guys on the cornerbacks, so they might end up leaving and all of that. And J.R. Foreman, he's going to be sitting behind a year or maybe be in and out of the snaps, but he might not know. He might get some playing time during the season. But we are trying to focus on keeping this dynasty that we have in Texas. Austin, Corey, we have a lot of decent players so far, and with Franklin West being from Hartford, Connecticut, and Scott already being number one on the list. I mean, last time we did something like this, and for Compton, and I ended up getting the kid from New York. I mean, look how that turned out. His name goes by Dred Hurst. Look how he turned out. Out of the three, Dred Hurst was the person I slept on. I ain't gonna hold you. Was he one of my own creations? Yes, I slept on him, and he ended up excelling every expectations. Was his accuracy atrocious? Yes, but he improved and he got better throughout time and became the greatest college football college football player of all time. So, I mean, Scott has the potential to be that. He's only 6'2". Dante was being from Baltimore. He's 6'3". Like, a lot of these guys are around the same height, but they all carry the same thing. Oh, got that dog in him. Still got that dog in them. Now, the depth chart, I'll keep us followed. Like I said, FJ will remain the starting quarterback. Of course. Starting running back, it will still be Wesley. No matter what, Wesley will still be the main quarterback. And let's see, our team looks all right. It looks decent. I'll say there's some things we do need to switch, but I'll see how this team plays during week one. I see how we're looking in the first couple of games, and then when push comes to shove, when that time comes, like I said, we have a stack running back, stack cornerback room, and we have a stack of decent offensive line. Excuse me, that needs some improvement that we need to work on and all that. So like I said, we have a lot of veterans. We have a lot of veterans. We have a lot of young people. But that's the whole name of the game. That's the whole name of the game of doing this to build for that next era. Because after the FJ era, the next quarterback's going to be coming into town. It's either going to be Scott, Austin, or West. One of those three. One of those three. But now on to the fun part, the schedule. Now, goes as follows. Alabama, Ohio State, Auburn are the first 3 games of the season. We're going to be in Alabama for a little while, man, because it's nice to see Alabama again. I did say we'll be in the shoe to take on Ohio State. Then we're going to be away at Auburn, and then we're going up against Rutgers. LSU comes to us at West Virginia, against Louisville, at Pittsburgh, and then at Death Valley, at Clemson to end the season. Y'all know I love a challenge. Y'all know I love a challenge. And as you see, they have us ranked 8th in the country. But also, we take it as a little bit of, I take it as a little bit of disrespect. I mean, I feel like we should be higher, yes, but at least we're not outside the top 10 as the last couple. In the last 2 years, we've been ranked in the top 10, so I'll give them that. I will give them that. But other than that, the main goal for this season is as follows. We go up against these key games. We have to win and dominate these key games in order for us to prove ourselves. Our biggest test of the season will be our first. That's us going to Columbus and taking on Ohio State. That game will basically determine how this season will go. If it's a close game coming down to the wire and we barely survive, like how we did against teams like Georgia and mainly Georgia and Iowa and Michigan, then we're going to be in for a long season. Give it being how many ranked teams we go up against. But at this rate, we don't own Rutgers, we don't own West Virginia, we don't own Cincinnati, we don't own the entire Big East. That at this point, the Big East's goal is to see who can beat us. Who can beat the reigning undisputed 3-time, well, now 5-time national champions. And then you're looking at the preseason polls, it goes as follows. Somehow, someway, Oklahoma's number 1. Ohio State number 2, as you guys saw. Penn State, Virginia Tech, Texas, Oregon, Miami, then us. Our grade is we have an A- overall, not bad. B+ offense, should be higher. A- defense, and a B+ special teams. I feel like our offense should be a little higher. I feel like on paper, we have the best offense in the nation. I mean, I can't really name any other offense that's better than us right now. But neither here or there. But the goal for us is to once again climb the ladder. The fact that we're 8th works, but Georgia, Iowa, LSU, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Clemson, Rutgers, Oregon State, Cal, Ole Miss, Auburn, West Virginia, Tennessee, USC, Alabama, and Arizona State. That's the top 25 teams for the preseason. Now heading into the Heisman race, of course, it's the main 4 people from last season: FJ, Davis, Porter, and Wesley, and Steve Reed from Rutgers. That caught me off guard, but some people are speculating that FJ might do it. FJ might be the first and the second person since Dred Hurst to win 3 consecutive Heisman Trophy awards. Now, I know some of y'all going to be like, I can't, well, will I be able to change conferences? I can't. I can't change conferences. We're stuck in the Big East. We are stuck in the Big East for the time being. We'll be stuck in the Big East, and as you see, we're the toughest place to play at, in the entire country. But we're gonna be stuck in the Big East, and I'm not gonna hold you. I don't mind it. I don't mind playing in the Big East. Do I want to play in a conference championship game? Yes, but I like playing in the Big East simply because the competition has actually gotten better. It's the fact that we have gotten better too. I mean, look at us, multiple 90s across the board, across the board. It's Porter's already a 90, despite only one season. He's already a 90, along with Davis, who's already about to be a 90 after this season. He could probably end up being a 90 at the end of the season. This roster is stacked. This team is ready. This team is prepared. They know what's at stake. They know them four-peating is a possibility, and they're looking to be the first team since Compton to do it. Compton was the last and only team to ever four-peat in the BCS National Championship era. No other team has done that since. But Uconn's looking to be the first. So the questions are as follows. 1. Will FJ do it? Will FJ win Heisman once again? How will this offensive line shape? The fact that this offensive line is different. The receiving core, stacked. and better than ever. Will they continue where they left off last season? Will the Uconn Huskies continue their momentum and become once again the kings of the college football world? Will there finally be a worthy opponent, a worthy challenger that can knock them off their throne? Because for what it looks like, no one could take them off their throne yet. No team has. Only one team has, and that's USC. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to book them. But it's enough about that. I'll see you guys for season 7 when the time comes. I'll see you guys then. But for now, next up, Alexander Evans and Drew Parker. Drew Parker makes his NFL debut. But I'll see you guys later. Subscribe. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. See you guys when I get back from vacation.